Here we go. We are live. I did end up bringing the project I said I shouldn't.
Oh no, the one that involves counting?
Yeah. If I have to, I'll just like put it down and switch to something else. But like this is the thing that I really want to work on. And I like specifically do not want to work on that stupid scarf again. Like the scarf that shall never die.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll regret this a lot, but who knows?
You know what happened to me the other day is that I bought some yarn, got it home, and started making something with it. This was a different thing than what I'm working on now. This is for something else. And I was like, this yarn smells really weird. And I was like, is something wrong with it? Like I feel like it smelled like it was mildewy or something.
Oh, that is really strange.
Yeah, so I like ordered more online and I'm like, I hope this like if there was like a batch of yarn that maybe got water on it or something and there was like something wrong with it. And I was like, hopefully I get something from a different batch of this yarn because I need this. But it was just like such a weird thing that I was like partway through making something and I was like, this doesn't
smell right.
Doesn't smell like anything.
Yes.
Anyways, that was my anecdote.
Yeah. Hyro, local TV is eating KFC on broadcast on their New Year's Eve celebration. I like that. Good for them. Okay. I just like remembered right before we went live, I was like, oh, I didn't update the description box like I usually do before because like you can't do it on StreamYard. So you are now linked in the description.
Oh, thank you. What happened to my hook? Oh, no, I found it. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I think this is my first like official short rows project, which feels significant.
I don't know what that means.
So it basically is like a way of you stop before you get to the end of the row and you move the yarn around so that you can go back the other direction. So you're adding like half rows so that it's like uneven. So the thing I'm making, this is like basically, wait, which side?
Why would you want to do that?
It's for shaping. So it makes it really easy to make like uneven edges. Like this is going to be a like neck shawl thing that looks like it's made out of feathers.
Ooh,
so
very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. I had to like rip out and start over, I think like 6 times, but I think I've got it now. So it's all good. Hello, cool gamer. Let us know if you guys are doing anything. Yes, Happy New Year. If you're like working on anything or just hanging out. We are planning to do at least like 2 silent sprints. So if you're reading, that'll be a good time to do it. But mostly going to be hanging out and crafting on this wild Saturday night.
Oh yeah. These are our big New Year's Eve plans. Honestly, this is like the most exciting New Year's Eve like plans I've had in a while. I usually am just like, why would I want to go somewhere on New Year's Eve? Everybody's doing things. People drive badly. It doesn't seem like a good plan. Yeah. And today, the weather is very cold and misty. Like it has been foggy the entire day. And I don't live in a place that's usually like foggy. So it's been very weird.
Yeah, we get a lot of fog where I live, but not a lot of rain, which is why it's very exciting that we've been having a ton of rain over the last few weeks. Makes me very happy.
Yeah, we get a decent amount of rain. We just like, I don't know. I was out at one point today and just being like, I don't know, I feel like I'm in like a gothic novel or something with like the mist, you know?
You feel like you should be walking across the moors somewhere.
Honestly, like near my house, there are some like just fields and they're just like these misty fields. And I was like, what is it? I feel like I should put on a dress with like long skirts and just like run through the misty fields or something.
Yeah. That'd be a fun way to end the year, honestly.
I'd probably like fall over and sprain my ankle.
Well, sometimes that happens.
I mean, well, honestly, I've sprained my ankle many times. Not usually from running through misty fields. It's usually because I fall downstairs.
Yeah. That would be funny if you had to like explain to the doctor. It's like, well, what were you doing? It's like, well, I was channeling my inner gothic heroine. And it all went wrong.
Yeah. I don't know if that would be like more or less embarrassing than being like, yes, this is the 5th time that I have sprained my ankle falling down the stairs for no reason. Because honestly, it's happened many times. And I'm like, was anything happening? No, I just can't walk downstairs.
It's tricky.
Yeah. But it hasn't happened in a long time, so hopefully.
Good. Starting the new year strong.
Yeah.
Not tripping.
No, I actually found out, I'm pretty sure it was because I had like vision problems and didn't have good depth perception, and I had to like do vision therapy. Wow. This is not the direction I meant the conversation to go. This is why.
And it's all because of the mist.
It's all because of the mist. Exactly.
So far, I am able to count and talk.
Well, that's good. Also, I feel like it's easier, at least if it's like a small number.
Yes, for sure. And also, like a lot of the rows are ones where like it's pretty easy to check if I counted right because I will have a certain number left.
Yeah.
Not the part I'm on right now. I can't check myself right now, but yeah.
I'm actually doing a thing that I have to like count also just to make sure I don't. I'm actually, are we going to introduce our projects?
Yes, I was just going to ask you if you would like to briefly introduce yourself and what you're working on.
All right. Hi. I'm Huck. My channel is Badger Reads. I just realized that I think that I accidentally dipped part of what I'm working in my drink. And it's wet. So today I feel like I'm a little all over the place. Right. My channel's Badger Reads. And what I am working on right now is I have started a new sweater, even though I already have a sweater I was making and have not finished.
Exposed.
Yes. But it is this like velvet chenille yarn that is very pretty. And right now I have finished one piece of it. My concept for this sweater is large. It is just meant to be a very large and soft sweater. So it's going to be very boxy. I'm not like shaping it really. Anyways, I made the back piece. And now I'm working on the ribbing for the front piece. So I have to like count. The reason I'm talking about counting is just because like it's 14 stitches and sometimes I accidentally like miss a stitch and then it starts to like narrow. Which is Also, though, this is not my project, but I also want to introduce the fact that I'm wearing this very cool shawl that Kara made for me. So thank you. And I wanted to show it off. And also, I feel like you have to hold it up to show the cool pattern that it is.
Well, thank you. I did not pay her to say that, but like, sponsored by this shawl. Well, thank you. I didn't want to like bring your little cute guys because like we have them like arranged so nicely, but this will keep you coming back. Next time I will show the adorable little critters that Huck crocheted for me. Like I am obsessed with them. I can't get over it. You'll just have to come back next time. So, hi everyone. I'm Kara. My channel is obviously Wild Book Garden. That's where we are right now. I am also working on a project where there's a lot of counting, which normally you would not want to do while you're like chatting or doing something else while crafting, but I am sick of working on that same gray and white scarf. So I went and I picked up a project that I haven't touched in like probably more than 3 years. So I figure it is still progress to be working on it. You know, I didn't start something new. I am going back to something. So, and the one I'm doing, it's, I don't know if I always seem to pick things that don't show up well on camera. Oh, well. But they're going to be like feathers. So it's going to like wrap around like neck area, and the pictures look very cool. So we'll see.
I feel like what you're describing sounds like something that I have definitely seen on Pinterest.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It seems like a very like Pinterest and Instagram friendly piece.
Yeah. Are you making it for yourself or for someone else?
I am making it for myself. I was really
I would assume so if you started it years ago.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this was for a birthday? Like
that happened like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Like it's a little belated.
Yeah. Like, honestly, that's not out of the realm of possibility that I would intend to give someone a gift and then it just takes me that long to finish it. Like, that hasn't happened so far, but, you know, I'm honest about my like attention span when it comes to knitting. Yeah, so this is going to be for me, actually. I was realizing, like, we talked about this in one of these before, where it's like a lot of times I just enjoy the making of things. And so sometimes it's something that I even intend to like keep, but then I finish it and I'm like, actually, I had fun. I don't need this anymore. Did I like give it to somebody? So this one is one I think I actually am going to keep for myself.
Yeah. That's one of the things I like about, you know, that in the last few months I've gotten very into making like little like stuffed animals or little plushies, is that I feel like they make good gifts because I don't do a lot of, I feel like it's harder to like make something that's like clothes for other people.
Yeah.
But something that's just like a little plushie, like that is very easy to like make for somebody, and you can kind of try and incorporate like their interests or something. Anyway, I just have been liking that. I'm like, oh, this is an easy way to like, it's like a nice way to do like gifts for people. Whereas with clothing things, it's a little harder, I feel like, to figure out like, would they like this? Do they want this?
And you don't have to worry about like sizing or like any kind of like strong color preferences, you know. So
right.
Yeah,
you're like, look, if you don't like it, you can just put it in a box.
I was thinking more along the lines of like, you don't have to wear something that's not your style. It's like gonna be cute no matter what, you know. But yeah, that's good. Just like put it in a box. Okay, counting break. Okay. I think we're still on track. I guess I'll find out when we go to the next section.
That is another thing that I've thought about with like, back to maybe like having to worry about sizing or something, is that like, I don't think at this point I am good enough at crocheting that I could write a pattern for something. But I was like, what if one day I did? And one of the nice things about doing a pattern that is like a plushie or something is that you don't have to do like sizing for it.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, if you did clothing, then you need to think about like how to do the instructions for different sizes and stuff.
Yeah.
So
very true.
Just makes it simpler.
Okay, you know what? I am gonna go get the little plushies. I want to show them off. So. Surprise! Okay, I'll be back.
Then there's no incentive to come back next time.
I know, but I want to brag about your plushies.
Oh my god.
Okay, how about I will show one. I will show You can
Honestly,
see,
you can do whatever you want.
you may see a single plushie. Like, one plushie per guest entry. Okay, I'll be back.
Okay. I have to count my stitches now, so. Hey.
Behold. Look at how cute.
It's upside down.
There we go. I was like, why is it? It's a little kitty with wings. I love her. I love her so much. I also, as I was like carrying her, I was like, I think her name is Eloise. So.
Oh, good. I'm glad that she has a name.
I'm obsessed with her. She's going to hang out and cheer us on.
All right.
Right here.
I just measured the thing that I'm making, and I think I'm making pretty good progress. Right now it's at 15 inches, and it needs to be 30 inches. So that's the nice thing about doing short rows is that it just feels so accomplished.
Yes. I had a moment like yesterday when I was working on this, like, and I said it was called short row knitting. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is going really fast. The rows feel really short. And then I was like, oh my God. Yes, yes. Good job, Kara.
So, what have you been up to today? I never know what to do during New Year's Day, like New Year's Eve during the day. So I was like, what's been going on?
Yeah. I finished my book, which I did want to do before the year ended. Okay. Which was The Wishing Thread, which she gifted to me. Yeah. And it was about knitting. So really this is like perfectly on trend. Like, yes. Yeah. And I really liked it. It was really good. Also, something I think is super cool is like the author on her website, she like linked a bunch of free patterns that like things that are used in the story are like versions of. So I'm like, I want to make this poncho. So that's going to be fun.
Would you wear a poncho?
I would actually. Like the ones that she showed were like really cute ones.
Yeah.
And I think it would be nice because it'd be easy to layer. And like where I live, it gets like gloomy pretty quickly, but it doesn't, like layering is good here because our weather is like that. But
I feel like ponchos were a big thing when I was like 13 or something, you know?
Yeah.
I think I had
Yeah.
a poncho. I had like a pink poncho that I was very into.
I think I had a like blue and lighter blue poncho. There was definitely like a poncho moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I had like I think I would wear it with like a denim skirt, you know? And like be
Hmm.
very cool.
Yeah. Do you remember those like gaucho pants? Were those like a huge thing when you were a kid? Because like those were
Yeah.
like the thing in like elementary and middle school.
I never had gaucho pants, but they were a big deal. I don't know if when I was like I may have I don't know. I may have been a little I think I'm a little older than you are, so like I may have been like a little bit older when gaucho pants were.
Just past the poncho phase or the gaucho phase.
Oh, gauchos were for all ages.
Yes, yes. Hi, Julia. Forgot to set a reminder, but hi, I'm excited to be here.
Excited to have
Welcome.
you.
Yes. Are you just like hanging out? Are you frantically trying to finish something for the end of the year? Because that's kind of what I was doing earlier. So I'm not going to judge.
I just decided. Were you asking me or the people in the comments?
Anybody.
Okay.
Go for it.
I actually have been in the situation where I just decided, like, I was reading two things, and one of them I was like, you know what? I'm not going to finish this month. I'm going to just put it down and come back to it some other
Yeah.
time. And then
Yeah.
the other thing I just decided to DNF. And so I haven't been reading anything for the last like 2 days. And I've been very like I keep wanting to start new books, but then I'm like, no, you have to wait till the beginning of the year. So it's been like very weird because I feel very motivated to read, but which is ridiculous that I'm not letting myself. But like,
No, I know what
holding
you
back.
mean though. Yeah.
But
No, I had that happened to me like 2 or 3 days ago because I had finished like the things that I had specifically wanted to get done in December. So I was like, I can just read whatever. And I was like frozen with indecision. Like for like 2 days I kept like picking something up and like reading a little bit and I'm like, "No, that's not what I'm in the mood for." And like finally I picked up the wishing thread, which was like, okay, this is a mood I'm in right now. So I was going back and forth between reading it and knitting, which felt great because it was about knitting. Julia says, I'm frantically reading most of my first book of 2023. It's my tradition to finish my first read right after midnight, so I feel ahead of schedule for my annual goal. I like that. That's smart.
Maybe I should do
Yeah.
that and should have done that instead.
You like preload your like first read, so
Right.
you're like ready to go.
And
Yeah,
then also I
I
don't
like
have to
that.
like not let myself read. It's
Right.
a little late now, but I like that idea.
Put it in your pocket for next year.
Yeah.
Okay. I really hope that I am counting this right, or honestly, I don't know what I would do if I messed up so badly that I had to unravel it again because I'm so sick of doing the same rows over and over. So, because this is for me, I would probably just ignore it and keep going. Like,
Just added texture.
yeah.
For whatever reason, today because I'm not reading anything, I started watching like the Addams Family movies on Netflix because they're on Netflix. And like I watched Wednesday,
Yeah.
like when it came out, and then I was like, you know what? I've never actually seen like I feel like I know what happens in the Addams Family movies from like the 90s,
Yeah.
but I have never actually seen them. And so I was like, all right, I'll watch them. So that's been my New Year's today. Other than like I had to run around and get a couple of things today. But other than that, watching the Addams Family movies.
Sounds fun. Julia's asking about the project, so we can reintroduce our projects if we want to. This is not the slippers. I am almost done with them. I have one completely done and one that is almost done, but I need to figure out another yarn to add. because I ran out at the end. And because, again, those are for me. I don't care if they don't match. I'm like, it's fun and quirky and lazy, but it's fine. So the thing I'm working on right now is going to be a like neck shawl, necklet. It's like a weird like shawl scarf thing that for some reason it makes me think of like fantasy books, which is also cool. So it's going to look like a bunch of like feathers like this. And I really like how the like darkest purple, you can see that it's going in like a line. So it looks like the shaft on the feathers. So I hope it turns out. I hope I can count right. We'll all find out together in a little bit here. Huck, do you want to talk about what you're making again?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's this big now.
Nice.
I'm doing the ribbing for a sweater. I have like this, it's like that like velvet chenille yarn, and I'm making a very large sweater. Hopefully I will finish it before, I don't know, 2024? No, it's actually like not, for how giant it is, it's not taking too long. I feel like crocheting goes by so much faster than knitting.
Julia says I love me a chenille sweater. Yeah.
They're
it's already
so
looking
great.
so cozy.
Yeah. I have one that is just like so comfy, and I just wanted another one.
That's what you can do when you can make things. You're like, I can just have this thing if I want it. Like,
exactly. You just make it however, like exactly you want it.
Yep.
Did I lose a stitch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I might have. Oh no. Wait, I have to like count these now.
Go for it.
Yes, I lost a stitch somewhere.
Oh no.
This is why I have to count things. Okay, is this the last point where I had the right number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No? Wait a second. One of the things about this yarn is that it is very difficult to see the individual stitches because it is fuzzy.
Yeah.
Six. 8, 10, 13. What is happening here? Okay, I think I'm back on track, hopefully.
Good. 9. I just had a horrible second when I thought I was looking at the wrong section of the pattern, and I was like, oh my God. But I think we're okay. I think.
Good. I feel like today we're very high stakes.
I know, this is intense crafting.
Crafting. Lots of like silent, like tense counting.
the adrenaline rush of, did I screw up too badly to continue? Like, also, Julia, if you just got here, does that mean you did not see the adorable thing I was showing off? Because we got to fix that. Look what Huck made me. It's a little kitty with fairy wings, and I just named her Eloise.
It seems like a very appropriate name for her. Right? I will also re-show off the shawl that Kara made for me. Isn't it pretty? It has like this very cool pattern. There we go. Now you can see the pattern.
I am so glad you liked it.
All right.
Right? See, Julia agrees. Oh my god, it's so cute. It's true.
Okay. What is happening here? Also, my big thing today was I went on Goodreads and I moved all of my the way I organize my physical TBR on Goodreads is that I have a shelf that is physical TBR 1 and physical TBR 2. And 1 is the one that I start the year with, and then 2 is where I put everything that I buy throughout the year. And so one of my big things that I did today was I went and I moved everything from TBR 2 to TBR 1 because we're starting a nice clean slate. So that was big excitement.
That is very exciting. Oh my gosh, equally exciting Goodreads news, perhaps. My mom finally made an account on Goodreads.
Oh my god.
It's the beginning of a new era.
That's incredible. Do you think she will use it?
I don't know. I know that she was adding a bunch of things when she first created it, but I don't know if she's going to actually update it. That's what I'm kind of worried about, but we'll see.
I have tried I'm impressed. I have tried for so long to get my mom to use Goodreads. Yeah. It has not worked. One time also, she's seen that I seen my reading journal. She's like, if I had something like that, I think that I would do it. And I made her a reading journal. I made pages, spreads for her to track.
Oh my gosh, that's so much work though.
I mean, they weren't incredibly detailed. It just, I just made them pretty so that she would be excited about them and them in rainbow colors and stuff.
Well, it was a nice thought, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Aw, Julia's saying nice things. Talent between you both. She says, I can knit in the literal sense of the stitches, but I cannot follow a pattern to save my life. Yeah, it's really important to not scare yourself with really complicated ones. There are still pattern types that I have not done. That I still have not made a sweater. Someday. I felt a big sense of accomplishment when I actually made my first pair of socks, because that was something that freaked me out for a long time.
Socks are rough.
Says, they are. Love a clean slate for reading plans. Wow, love that for your mom. Yeah, I love it for me too, because now I don't have to be her Goodreads. Oh boy. We'll see.
Although also, I also was like my mom's Goodreads, except now she reads mostly, a lot of the stuff she reads is on ebooks, and she has, most of what she reads are ebooks. Okay, there we go. And she now, I guess, has discovered books that are more a bunch of stuff, I guess, is maybe more indie published or stuff, things that she finds on Kindle. And so I don't even know what things are. And so she's like, what's that book that I read? And I'm like, Mom, I have no idea. I have never heard of this.
I cannot tell you.
Yeah, it's one thing if it is a book that I have also read, and then I can remind you what the plot was.
Otherwise, I cannot help you.
Yeah. Which also, speaking of mom's reading, I have to tell you, my mom has already read Half a Soul. So Kara sent Half a Soul to my mom for the holidays because they have very similar reading tastes. And so my mom read it all in one day. And she loved it because she's on her vacation right now. And so she just spent a day just like reading in bed, read the whole book, and is now like, you know, binging the series and is very excited about it.
Oh my gosh. I am so glad. I'm so glad I was right. I felt like it was a specific one your mom would enjoy. So I am so happy to hear that. Julia says that is so wholesome. Yeah. I like, who would have thought that my bookish taste twin would be your mom? Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I have finished the second feather.
Ooh.
Here's what we've got so far.
Oh, it does look like feathers.
Yeah.
Cool.
And even more amazingly, I had the right number of stitches at the end.
Oh my god, the miracle.
It really is. Like
the New Year's Eve miracle.
It is. I was not feeling that confident. I was already thinking of like, okay, so if I have to like fake add or remove a stitch, how bad is that gonna look? Like, but it's all good. Okay, now to do the whole thing over again. I have to make 10 more of these feathers.
Woohoo!
That's okay.
I wonder if there's like a crochet pattern for something similar, because that sounds cool.
Yeah. Let me ask Google. Ooh. This one looks like even more like feathers. I love that. Okay, I am going to send you these.
Ooh, okay.
Wait, is this the same pattern? Maybe it's the same. Okay, wait. This is confusing to me because it's like the same seller and the exact same like... Oh, okay, they are two different ones. I'll send you both.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll let me post it in comments. Like sometimes it gets angry about links. So I might just do this in the chat and I can always add them in the description afterwards if people are interested. I don't know if anybody else wants to crochet something that looks like wings, but I think it looks pretty cool. So that's one of them.
I'm deciding that I want to go for a real whimsical look at this point. So I would love something that looks like feathers and wings.
I love it. It's very, like, I'm not just saying this because I know you. It looks very Daughter of the Forest. Like, they're both really pretty.
Oh, that's cool. I clicked on one of them. Let's see what the other one looks like. I feel like I've seen this before, probably on Pinterest.
Again, it's like very Pinterest and Instagram friendly, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, maybe I will make these and you guys will see me here also being like, what's happening?
I feel like you're going to finish that like before I finish this because this is like, it's slow going. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just basking in the glow of not losing any stitches that last time. I truly can't believe it.
You know, appreciate the wins.
Exactly. Okay. Do you feel like you have... Okay, wait, hold on. I need to count first.
Okay.
I got overconfident about this part. 1 second. 2. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
All of a sudden I was like, oh no.
We're all set.
Great. I was going to ask, do you feel like with crochet that you have like specific benchmarks where you're like, okay, now I feel like I'm an expert because I handled this thing? Or like, I know that you're not as like pattern focused as I am. So maybe this is not a thing that you do. But
no, probably because I don't know enough about it to know when I have, like, I don't actually know that much about crochet. I just kind of do it. And so, like, I don't know enough about it to know, like, what the benchmarks are, or are things more difficult than others. I just kind of go like, I'm gonna do that. And then I'm like, this is hard.
That makes sense. I feel like I have a couple of like very clear examples of that. Like when I made my first sock pairs, I was like, okay, I'm officially an intermediate knitter. I am no longer a beginner because those are like famously difficult, I feel like. And I was very intimidated by them. Like for a long time, I actually was just like, I'm going to get into knitting, but I will never, ever, ever do socks. Like it's just not for me. And so then when I did, I was like, I have graduated. And then I feel like the thing that will make me feel like, all right, I'm an advanced knitter is when I actually do a sweater for the first time, which is more arbitrary. I don't know that sweaters are like considered like a really expert project. But for me, it feels like that. So
I think it also really depends on like how complicated a sweater you're making.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a very basic one, I think, for the first one, like a raglan one where it's like you don't have to worry about like seaming all those things.
Yeah. Okay, I had two more thoughts about this. One is that I do think one measure in my mind is like, if I feel like I could, like, I don't know, make up my own pattern, I guess, for something.
Yeah.
Is when I feel like pretty, I don't know if advanced in something, but like I feel like good about it if I'm like, okay, I feel like I can make up my own pattern. And so then I'm like, I'm doing pretty well at this. But also with, at least within like making the little like plushies and stuff, there are definitely ones that look a lot harder than others.
Yeah.
Like there are some that are incredibly detailed and like really finely shaped. Like they're so like there are some where it's like, so you make one circle and then you attach it to a different circle, and then you're like, and then there you go. It's a little animal. There's some where it's like, nope, that looks like a baby deer. Like it looks like it's alive, you know?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I guess I am kind of working my way up in that way, in terms of detail.
Yeah. I think another one for me that feels like it's like, okay, you're knitting with the big kids now. is like is like Fair Isle or like stranded color work, which is where like you knit with multiple colors in a single row, and so that means that you're like holding yarn with both hands at all times. Like looking at that, like looking at the color work charts and everything, just like my brain panics. So when I have like a couple of like projects picked out that are like, this is great if you've never done Fair Isle before. So like I am planning to get there, but not yet. I mean, even the one I'm working on now, it's like I've never done something with short rows before. And the technique itself is not as hard as I thought, but I feel like the pattern I'm using, it's not bad, but there are just a few different places. Like I think one of the reason I was having so much trouble at the beginning was like there were things that the person writing the pattern was assuming you did, and then there were things where she was assuming that you didn't do something, and I'm like, well, you kind of wrote it as if like you have two different sets of assumptions almost. Like I don't know, it just was kind of confusing to me. But now that I've like figured this out, I'm like, okay, I feel like I am slowly inching my way. Julia said, yeah, I feel like once you can knit something that is 3D, like not a scarf or blanket, etc., you have reached a milestone. Yeah, like something that has like shaping like that is, I think, very impressive.
If
Since
you
we're
do a
at
sweater the way I do, you just have to make flat squares and then attach them to each other.
I might do the patented flat square sweater. Yeah, that might be my first one. I love, okay, my favorite are projects where like you do the seams, like it's not like a one piece thing, like you do the seams instead of knitting something in the round and it looks like cute, like it's like part of the design, you know, like wrist warmers or like some leg warmers are like that, where like the seam going up the back is like aesthetic looking.
Right.
That's what I love.
Do I have it nearby? I don't know. I have some sweaters that I've made where like, yeah, I intentionally did the seam on the shoulder, like on the outside. So there is like a really clear seam there.
Yeah. Julie said, ooh, Huck's got the techniques.
Oh, yeah.
Life hack your way to the perfect sweater.
Honestly, look, I'm going to show you this sweater. Like, I'm not following a pattern for this sweater. I will show you what this sweater looks like so far. Oh, turn back on. Okay. So I finished the back piece. This is the back piece. It's a square. There's ribbing at the bottom, and I did a tiny bit of like an indent here for where the collar will be. So
yeah, it already looks really like cute though, like very
I'm
nice
realizing
sweater
it's
quality.
going to be very heavy.
Like that's true.
Already feels like a heavy sweater, and this is like a quarter of the sweater.
So it's gonna be the weighted blanket of sweaters, like
pretty much. I'm wondering if it's going to be really hot. So
that could be your like ultra cold weather sweater, maybe.
You know, my heating doesn't work super well, so sometimes at night it gets real cold.
There you
It'll
go.
be great.
Yeah, its time will come.
Yeah, exactly.
Did we want to do a quick silent sprint in case anybody following along is like doing something that they I don't know, need quiet for? Also, feel free to just like mute this for a bit if you need to, because I have definitely done that. So I don't know if we want to just go to now I have to do math in public. This was a terrible idea. Quarter till maybe. So like at the 45. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Do that. All right. And also we mentioned at the beginning that we're not going to go super late with these. Like we're not going to go too close to midnight in the Eastern time zone. So if you guys are doing things other than hanging out and crafting with us, I don't know why you would. This is clearly the best way.
Other plans.
Yeah. Right. Okay. We will mute and see you guys back at 45. Okay, everyone. We are back from our little mini sprint. How did everyone do? Any updates?
My ribbing is slightly longer now.
Nice. You're like, this is a bigger rectangle.
Right? Yeah. You're getting there. How about you?
I did do a few rows, but the main thing I got done, which I'm very happy about, is I did the captions draft for a video going up tomorrow, which actually is going to be some of my favorite books of the year. I have never, ever in the history of my channel posted an end of year video on the 1st of January. I don't think I have, at least. So, I mean, it's a lot easier because I'm doing it by genre this year because I read more books than last year. But still, I'll take the win.
I need to film all of my end of year, like looking back on the year kind of things.
Yeah. I was thinking, one of the ones I have to do or I want to do is my goals and intentions, things I want to work on. I was like, that means I actually have to look at the ones I did last year.
Yeah, I did
and see if I did them.
Do I remember?
Yeah.
I know I was like, I 100% didn't do that.
Right. There's at least a couple that I remember putting on there that I know I really did well on this year. But the other, I'm like, who knows what I said I would do. Beginning of the year, Kara had lots of ideas, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She was so confident. Anybody hanging out in the chat, feel free to let us know if you guys did anything. Reading Ren says, I'm so jealous of your knitting skills. That's very sweet. It's been a lot of years and a lot of mistakes and a lot of unraveling. At the beginning of this live show, actually, I was talking about how the pattern I'm working on now, I think I had to completely rip everything out and start over at least 6 or 7 times. So I don't actually know what I'm doing as much as you think I do, but it's very kind of you. Luckily, it was near the beginning of the pattern, so I didn't have to rip out, half the stitches I did, but not fun.
I also have been putting off, I usually do my end of year videos after the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
So that I can include everything. But also,
Right.
I have been kind of putting off filming some things because did I tell you that my tripod broke?
You mentioned it, yeah.
Yeah, one of the legs broke. And so right now it's taped back on. But I ordered a new tripod and I'm waiting for it to come, and I was kind of hoping it would come by now so that I could just have a functional tripod.
That would be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never film end of year videos before the actual end of the year. The only reason I did this time is because I am doing it by genre. I was like, well, I know I'm not going to read any more of these books before the end. So,
yeah, see, if I had known how my reading was going to go, that I essentially just gave up on what I was reading.
You're like, I could have been working on this
so much easier, earlier.
Yeah.
But I feel every year that's actually kind of not that I need to film things earlier, but reading wise, I'm always very conflicted about I feel I should stop reading earlier, some point in December, just go I'm not reading anymore, because I don't really like having that panic read right at the end.
Yeah.
But I do it every year. But then also I could end up in this situation where I'm but now I want to read, but I don't I don't want to start something before it's the next year and like all of that.
Right. Well, now you have Julia's trick. Read most of a
Exactly.
book.
I could do that. Yeah. So what you do is intentionally start a long book so that you like can finish it in January.
There you go. Julia said, made some reading progress, about a third of the way through now, but it's a very fast read, so I'll be fine. Nice. Reading Ren says, I'm going to try embroidery this year and see how that goes. Knitting seems so hard to me. It's like, especially looking at somebody doing like a project like this, it definitely looks hard. So I understand that. I started by doing rectangles, like a lot of rectangles. And I'm basically self-taught, so I was kind of just figuring stuff out with like the knitting kit I had and YouTube. I ripped out my cast on stitches so many times, probably hundreds of times. So I understand. But good luck on embroidery. I have done a little bit of embroidery, but not very much. It is not my area.
I've always wanted to get into embroidery. Like I've tried it before, but I've never gotten into it.
Like I've basically done cross stitch and that's it. And most of it was like so long ago that, I mean, not even necessarily that long ago. It was also just like I was not good enough, I feel like, to do the like counted cross stitch. So like for the longest time I was like working on the like stamped one that I got when I was a kid. Which there's nothing wrong with using the stamped one. I'm just saying that for me, I think my talent lies in other areas. Reading Ren also said, I had planned to do so many end of year videos, but the closer it got to the end of the year, the less I wanted to do any work. I understand.
Yeah. Definitely makes sense.
Do you know what I also just realized? If I get a stitch marker that hooks, I actually might be able to do this a lot faster because I would only have to count the number of stitches once, and then I would put the stitch marker, and I would just know that when I got to that marker, I was done with that many stitches. Does that make sense? I'm going to go do that. I'll be right back. I feel like a genius.
Genius plan.
Yes.
I just had to attach 2 pieces of yarn, and I'm trying to make it look like invisible, but there is a knot somewhere in here. That is always a challenge.
Okay, I have returned with stitch markers. I hope this is as good an idea as it feels like. Reading Red says, what happens when you make a mistake in knitting? Do you just have to undo everything? Not often. With this project, I did because it was like a technique that I actually wasn't doing correctly because I'd never done it before. But a lot of times, like if you drop a stitch, you can sometimes just like pick it up with a crochet hook or something, which is one of the reasons why you're supposed to have one even if you're a knitter, and you can kind of like weave it back through. Or you can also do what I do, which is like, I lost a stitch somewhere, I'm just going to add one here. Like, which is not the approved technique, but it's what I do sometimes. So no, you don't often have to unravel everything if you make a mistake, especially depending on what kind of mistake it is. So, and like I said earlier, especially if it's like something I'm making for myself, I'm like, I don't care enough to undo like however many rows, because that's another thing that you can do is if you know where the mistake happened, then you only have to go back to that point, which is why it's good to catch the mistake early. Like I had to do that the other day with something where I realized that I had gotten off a couple rows back and I didn't want to undo it, but I was like, no, it's noticeable. So I did go back and it ended up okay. Alrighty, here we go.
Should probably measure this. I don't have a flat surface though. All right. I have to do 4 more inches.
All right, you can do it.
Yep. I might finish the ribbing today while we're doing this.
Yeah, that is
Very
exciting. I don't know if it's different in crochet, but ribbing is probably one of my least favorite things in the world to knit. I hate it because it's like repetitive and boring, but it's not like you can just tune out because you have to keep switching back and forth. So I don't know if you feel that way, but I'm not a fan of ribbing.
I kind of like ribbing. I find it kind of satisfying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I mean, I'm sure it's probably like a very different type of technique for crocheting. It is like the way it works is that I don't know how you well, you definitely can't see it on this because it's so fuzzy. But like with crochet, you know, there's sort of this like V shape that usually you like put your hook through the V shape. And if you for ribbing, what you do is you do back loop only. So instead of both sides, you just do one side of the V. And then you just do that going back and forth and it creates this ribbing look.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple. It is very repetitive and like you have to count to make sure that you don't like I dropped a stitch and I was like, why is my ribbing more narrow suddenly?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound
You can also do
satisfying.
ribbing at the end. Like it creates different effects. Like this one, I'm doing intentionally very loose ribbing.
Mm-hmm.
So there are 2 things. One is that I'm doing the ribbing first, and so working from the bottom up in the sweater, which means that the ribbing is going to be pretty like it's not going to cinch in the sweater, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And also because the type of ribbing I'm doing is single crochet ribbing, so it's like this wider rib. But you can also do ribbing at the end, which is more often will like kind of cinch it in, and you can do like a slip stitch ribbing, which looks. I think I hold on. Let me see if I have something that I did that on. It's actually the first sweater that I made, but this has like slip stitch ribbing on the cuff, so it's like a much finer rib to it.
Okay.
It's much more of like a stretch to it also, and it kind of cinches it in more.
Yeah.
So this goes pretty quickly because I'm kind of intentionally doing like a chunkier rib because I don't want it to cinch it very much.
Yeah. Yeah, so it does sound pretty different from knitting ribbing, which makes sense because they're like completely different techniques and tools. With knitting, so like the basic stitches are knits and purls, and the things that define those, I think, are if you go through the front or the back of the stitch, and if the yarn is at the front or the back of your work. And so the reason that I find knitting so annoying is that you have to continuously switch back and forth between those the entire way across. And that's what makes a rib. So you'll do like, here, let me finish this thing so I don't like distract myself. I do think my trick is working though with my stitch marker. That's exciting. Let me finish this part and then I can ramble. Okay. Yeah, so like it'll be a knit where you put your needle through to the back, you wrap it, you pull it off, and then you might do that again, and then you have to bring your yarn to the front, and then you put it through the front, and you wrap it, and you pull it off. And so it's just like, it doesn't sound like that much when I say it, but like just knitting straight across or purling straight across is so much quicker that by comparison, it's like, oh my God, will I ever be done with this ribbing? Like, it's probably not that big a deal, but it feels like it.
Yeah, this is very much like you're just doing the same thing going in different directions, and because you're doing back loop only, it creates that rib.
Mm-hmm.
So
very cool.
I think you can do even like looser ribbing too if you did like a half double crochet or double crochet like style rib instead of a single crochet. Although that might look, a double crochet might look weird. I don't know. It might be too spaced out.
Yeah.
You know, I saw this thing the other day that reminded me, like, isn't there something about how you can't like machine make crocheting? Did that make sense?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of an interesting thing.
That is interesting because you can obviously machine knit.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I don't understand why you can't with crochet, but there's something about it that, like, I don't think there's a way. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there isn't like a way to machine crochet. So, like, any crocheted things have to be handmade.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I have considered getting, like, you know, there are those like little knitting machines that you can get at home where you just like turn a crank and it does it.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I should just get one of those because I don't like to knit, but I want knit things. And like, I don't want anything fancy. It's usually that I'm like, I just want something that has like a knit look,
but it doesn't
Yeah.
need to be like fancy, cool things. It's like, maybe I should get one of those.
You could also put in a request for your next birthday gift. Just saying.
True.
I liked, well, obviously, I loved watching you do the knitting book tag. I really loved your story about how you have like a single crocheted sock somewhere in the world. Like,
Oh my God, I don't even know where it is anymore. But yeah, it's gray with a pink toe and heel. Yeah, I don't know why. I just was like, I'm gonna make a single sock, and then I was like, I don't want to make any more.
there is a method with knitting socks. I have never done this, and I don't think I would because honestly, it looks like more work than it's worth. But there is a way that you can make 2 at a time socks. So you are like, you use like big circular needles, like the ones I'm using, and you basically have one sock on one half and one on the other, and you keep going back and forth between them. And it's like, I've seen people talk about it because they're like, I hate having to make 2 of anything. And so by the time I finish one, I'm like, I'm sick of this. And then I just never make the other. So I know in knitting it's possible. I don't think you could crochet 2 at a time. I don't know.
Well,
but
no, because you don't have like your
there's
crochet
no,
like on a needle anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. That seems like it would be so much harder though.
Right.
Maybe
I'm
that'll
like,
be my next thing is I'll look up how to crochet socks and I'll be like, this is the thing that I know. Like now I'm a master crocheter if I
yeah.
can make socks.
Yeah. Socks are no joke. Like I think like, well, that's why the question is like they need more need more credit because I feel like people who don't craft would be like, "Oh, okay. Handmade socks. Nice." And it's like, "No, it is." It's a lot of
Yeah.
work.
I also think one of the problems that I had is that when I did make my single crocheted sock, I was not using like sock yarn.
Oh.
I was just using random yarn that I had, so it was like chunky
Yeah.
and uncomfortable to wear. Like I was like, and I was not following a pattern. I just was like, I can figure out how to make a sock. Like
Okay. So that might be
and like the thing is, it was a sock. It looks like a sock.
Mhm.
Not a good sock, but
Mhm.
I successfully made a sock.
I definitely don't think I used sock yarn for my first ones. I did use a pattern though, but it wasn't like a regular pattern. It was like if you have never even thought about making a sock in your life, I will explain every single step. And I'm like, bless you. Like it was this random person's blog. Like they had like this long explanation. Like it was a pattern, but like with every single step explained. So it wouldn't just be like, and then do the Kitchener stitch. It's like, here is how you do that. Here is how your needle looks. Like it was great. More patterns should come with versions like that.
Yeah, 2 things. One is I feel like now that I have made little like my little like crocheted plushies, I feel pretty confident about following a pattern because they have there's so much shaping involved that it's like, okay, so you have to decrease and then immediately increase. And then you
Yeah.
have to like do this other weird thing so that it turns into an elbow. And like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Yeah.
So I feel like, it wouldn't be too difficult. Honestly, at this point, I feel like I probably could just figure it out myself because I have like I think I would be able to figure out how to like make a heel. Like I can do a turn, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing though is that I just feel like I don't know if I would want to make socks because socks get so much wear and tear and I
They
wouldn't want to
do.
wear them. I would like put all that effort in and then be like, and now I never wear these because I don't want to get them dirty.
They are too precious.
Right.
I think like most of the socks I've done, like I made a pair for my mom actually a couple years ago, and they're still going pretty good, but they are made with thicker yarn than you normally would do, and they're really big. They're more like slipper socks. Which for some reason I feel like, well, she's not like wearing them in like shoes all day, you know. It's like she'll wear them around like walking like you would like slippers, you know.
Yeah.
But
Even
yeah,
then,
I
feel
understand
like,
that.
I don't know. Having dogs means that like socks
Yes.
get like the floor gets dirty really fast.
That's yeah.
You get dog hair on everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of dogs, actually, today another thing that I did was we had doggy spa day, which they do not find relaxing. But I was like, you should start the year well groomed. So I brushed
Yeah.
them and I brushed their teeth and stuff like that. And they were like, this is the worst. So they were not having a good time. But
yeah, it's like self-care against their will.
exactly. It's like, I'm just trying to help you.
I know. Yeah.
So
Well, it's like every time I have to give like Nala her pill and she's like hating it, and I'm like, it's because I love you.
yeah, Timber is so funny because like like this happens pretty much every time I have to do a grooming thing, like brushing teeth or clipping nails. He acts like I've done something horrible to him. Mm-hmm. He's very good about it. Like but he has this way of doing it where like I'll be clipping his nails and he just like turns his head away. I can't even look. and then afterwards he acts like he's afraid of me, and I'm like, I didn't hurt you. Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then I later find him in my bedroom because he wants to like hang out on my bed with me, because I think that he feels like somehow we've damaged our relationship and we need to like, re-establish our bond, you know. So then so then I have to go sit in my bed for a while so that he can feel like, okay, we're good again. And it's like every time I groom him.
That's a lot to go through emotionally every time he gets brushed. Like,
yeah,
oh boy.
Yeah, it's a real roller coaster for that dog.
Yeah. Yeah, the long-suffering look they can get where it's like, I love you, so I am allowing you to hurt me in this way. And it's like, I'm not. Like,
that's like if I give them a bath and they get this look where they just stare at you like, why do you hate me?
I know.
Oh my god.
Animals can be such drama queens. Like,
oh my god. Yeah. I also felt like Kira needed her teeth brushed because yesterday she found a dead squirrel in the yard. And we're like, cool, we need to brush your teeth after this.
Oh my god.
So she was very proud of herself, though.
Yeah.
She did not kill it.
Okay.
It clearly, unfortunately, it clearly had been dead for a while.
Oh no. It's like, great job, sweetie. Don't lick me. Like,
yeah. Luckily, she's not a very licky dog, so. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's the fun pet updates. That's like,
yeah, I know.
And sometimes they're just like things that happen. We're like, this is the price of having a pet.
Yep, for sure.
Do your cats like hunt things?
No.
Okay.
Well, okay, so they're indoor cats. And they will try to hunt bugs.
Okay.
And sometimes,
I assume they were indoor cats, but like if they ever found anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially Nala, because like she used to be a stray that we rescued, and so I think she's still got like those instincts, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, she will like rain down terror on any bug that she finds. Like, she goes for it. So yeah. And then it's like, I'll take it away from her because it's like, I don't know what kind of bug that is. It's like, I don't want her to eat that if I don't know what it is. And the look she gives me is like, it's like she's disgusted with me. Like, she's like, why would you do this to me? No, don't speak. Like, that's
Right.
like,
We used to, a long time ago, I had a dog. Like when I was in high school, had a dog who, he was so fast, he could catch squirrels. And he would bring us dead squirrels sometimes. And we would always go like, oh, and then just like throw it out.
yeah.
Like, what else do you do with it?
Oh my
And
god.
like, he did it a few times and eventually realized that like we did not appreciate his gift. And so he stopped catching squirrels for us. But like, it took a little while. And I just think it's interesting that he was like, you're not eating these, so you don't really appreciate it. So I guess I'm not gonna like bring these to you anymore.
He's like, you're lost. I will take my squirrel dinner elsewhere.
Yeah. But like, I don't think he caught them for himself either. Like, I don't think he wanted them. I think he caught them and then wanted to bring them to us. He wanted us to want them. I don't know.
He was thinking the same thing we were talking about, where it's like, I do this because I love you. I'm trying to help you.
Not because I want to do it.
Yeah.
Or he's like, I want you to want this.
Yeah. Oh, I love animals. They're so fun and wacky and like frighteningly smart often.
Yeah, there have been a lot of deer out in front of our house recently, and Timber has been going wild. Like, he very upset that the deer dare to exist in his sight.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, wait, did I go past what this needed to be? Do I have to undo it? I don't have a flat surface near me. I can't measure this.
If you need to take a break to go find a flat surface, you can do that.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm
Okay.
still here. I'm just gonna move around just to like lay this out. Okay. So, no, I am half an inch under what I need. This is why I need to put things on a flat surface.
Probably best, yeah.
Yeah. But that means I need maybe 1 or 2 more rows, and then I'm done with the ribbing, which is amazing. And then I can start doing the body.
Yeah.
All right.
They just think of like, what pattern did you use for your sweater? And it's like big.
Yeah.
Sweater big sweater. Like,
it's just Colossus sweater.
But it's gonna be so cozy.
It's gonna be so heavy. Like, yeah, like you're saying, like a weighted blanket sweater. That is honestly what it's gonna be like. But that could be nice, you know?
Yeah.
Very, very cozy. Maybe it can be a thing that I can do. Maybe I should start making sweaters for dogs, like those little, because you can get little thunder shirts for them that are like weighted, like pressure vests for them when they get scared.
Yes.
We used to, actually, speaking of which, the dog that used to catch squirrels for us was also afraid of thunder.
Oh,
so whenever there was a thunderstorm, he would shake, and it was very, very sad for him. And so what he would have to do is, first time, I don't know why we never got him a thunder shirt, but I don't know if it would have helped, but
Anyway, I would have to like cover him in blankets. And then sometimes, so that there was like weight on him. And then sometimes I would also lie down next to him and like kind of like put like weight on him so that there was like pressure on him. And then he would like calm down. I was like, every time there's a thunderstorm, apparently this is what we're doing.
You are his weighted blanket.
I am his weighted blanket. Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Julia has an excellent point. What's the point of sweater if not big?
Exactly.
Wise
I
words.
agree. Ooh, it's 11:20. We have like 10 more minutes.
That's right. Thank you for noticing that, because I probably would not have.
I have not been paying attention to the time, but except for this one time.
I think I'm getting near the end of the like really fiddly section. Or the stressful section where I can't really check myself on if I have the right number of stitches. I just have to trust.
Just count with your heart.
Yes.
All right, I think I'm done with the ribbing, so now I'm going to start going across.
Nice.
Which this is kind of the more exhausting part because now I have to go across and it's very long.
Yeah. Okay, good. It's telling me how many I should have.
Is your stitch marker method still working?
It is. And now that I know I have that, there's like, I feel confident with like shorter stretches that I don't need it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to have for like the longer ones and the ones where like I can't really check how many stitches I'm supposed to have.
Also, do you have a plan for your first book of the year?
I don't really. I know like the kinds of things I'm going to be reading in January because we're doing like the short stack readathon. So it's going to be short things, but I don't really know. That was actually one of the things I was like, that was one of the things I was going to decide. It's like, it's the 31st, Carrot. Like,
yeah.
There's not really a lot of time left to decide. Let me see. Let me look at the list of things that I was planning to read. I don't understand why people are doing fireworks like already. It is 8:30 here. Calm down.
There are people doing fireworks in my neighborhood too, but they started like maybe like 15 minutes ago, which makes a little more sense because it's almost 11:30. I hate it when people do fireworks in their yard. Like, it's also like it scares the dogs.
Yeah.
It also seems very unsafe because I live in a fairly wooded area. Like, there are a lot of things around here. It's a very wet area, so like it's not like things are dry, but there's still a lot of trees.
Yeah. Well, and it's like living in California, I'm like, friend, drought. Like, no.
Right.
What is wrong with you? Like, we've been getting a little more rain, thankfully, like the last couple weeks, but it's like, we are still trouble. No. Why you do this?
Yeah.
Why do you have to celebrate holidays so obnoxiously? Like,
I hate it when people set off fireworks in their yards.
Yeah.
It's just, the dogs never know what to make of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the cats hate it. It's like,
yeah, because you can't explain it to them. It's like,
yeah. And it's like, it does sound scary. Like, if I didn't know what that was, I'd be like,
yeah, be like, oh yeah, that's fine. It's an okay explosion. Like,
yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah. Do you have a plan for your first book? I know you were talking about some possibilities.
Yeah, I think that I settled on rereading the Monk and Robot books by Becky Chambers.
Right.
Yeah, because I wanted to read those again, and like they have some interesting themes in them that I wanted to like think about again. But also, one of my big like things for 2023 is I'm like really determined to read more sci-fi.
Yeah.
Because I was like, one of my intentions for 2022 was to read more sci-fi, and I read less sci-fi than I had the previous year. And so it was like, okay, this year I'm really determined to read more sci-fi. So I'm starting off the year with a sci-fi to encourage myself to be like, and just, you know, what's that, like, begin as you intend to proceed or something like that. Yeah. That's the plan. Yeah, I have a whole plan for like, I have a whole list that I've been making of different sci-fi books that I want to try, and like, we'll see. I hope I can find what I like in sci-fi, but
yeah, I'm at the point where I read it very infrequently compared to other genres, but by this point I'm fairly good. At least this year I was really good at finding ones I actually enjoyed. So like, quantity very low, but quality was very high. But that also might have been a fluke, so I don't know. I'll see how that goes. But
yeah,
I do like the idea, and I think I've kind of like unconsciously done this in previous years, but I do like the idea of starting with something that I am like very confident I will enjoy. Not like this, like, I feel like this could be a new favorite and it's stressing me out kind of thing, but like this is a dependable kind of like author, you know, or series or something. So maybe I'll do something like that. Like maybe I'll read something by like an author I've been really enjoying, like Melissa McShane. I might read like her short story collection or something. Maybe I'll do that. Katya says, I was hoping the rain might keep the fireworks people away, but some of them are out there. That is exactly my mood right now. Like, I'm pretty sure it is still raining as we speak. So it's like, that makes it, I guess, safer. But also, like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
Why?
Do you have any New Year's Day plans?
Not a single one. Probably sleeping and hanging out. I really want to like try and get a lot of my like video stuff prepared ahead of time, or like I've been doing pretty good with that the last like week or so because I've been off work, which has been really nice. But like I kind of want to use tomorrow to like make it so that I'm not like, I don't know, scrambling at the last minute to like do my December wrap up and like all of that. So those are my big plans.
Yeah. That's good.
What about you?
Well, probably reading something. Probably reading, one of the Monk and Robot books.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going hiking with a friend. Not like intense hiking. We do like very low key hiking. It's more of a nature walk.
Yeah. My kind of hiking, yeah.
Yeah, but she and I have kind of accidentally created a tradition of hanging out on New Year's Day because it just kept happening that like neither of us had plans, and we were like, "Hey, I'm like, are you doing anything?" And we did that like a couple years in a row. And yeah, and then even like through like lockdown and stuff, we would at least like do a Zoom call on New Year's Day. And so we're just like, I don't know, it's a tradition now. We did it enough years in a row, even if it was by accident. So now it's a thing.
It counts. It's a tradition.
Yeah.
Reading Ren says the best thing about New Year's Day is that you don't have to do anything at all. Yes.
Yeah.
One of the best holidays, if only for that reason. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Ooh, that sounds amazing. Reading and baking.
Ooh, yeah.
Love it.
Ooh, I should make soup. That would be a great thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
You're like, wait, my soup inspiration.
Just like had an epiphany that I should make soup.
That very much goes with the cozy vibes of this live stream. Yeah. Yes, Happy New Year for everybody. New Year. For everyone who's already in 2023. I will see you guys there in a few hours. But
yeah, I'll be there in like half an hour.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Hope you had fun and got to work on something or not work on something. Either way, we support both. Yeah. Huck is already linked in the description. You might need to refresh the page to see it. But please follow her at Badger Reads. We're definitely going to continue doing more of these crafting live shows, and with Kelly as well. She couldn't be here for this one, but she has also been part of these. And I want to show off what we've worked on one more time. I got like a good chunk done. I think I probably did one feather's worth altogether, which like considering how many rows there are in a feather, I feel pretty good about. So
cool. I finished my ribbing. So as you can see, it's going to be a very wide sweater.
You're going to come back and this sweater is just going to be a blanket with armholes. Like,
yeah. But yeah, so I finished my ribbing, which like I started with like this much. So
yeah, that's really
and I've
impressive.
Done 2 rows across. So I'm starting on the body now.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, New Year's Day there. You are very welcome for the sprints. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Yeah. Thank you to anybody who watches this later. I hope you guys have a safe and fun beginning to 2023. Hope you read some good books, and we will see you later. Bye.